Hey, how are you? Are you stuck at home? Yeah, I was too until I came out to the farm for a little hike and to visit my friend Ferdinand. My name is Jean Berry, and I am the Community Education Coordinator here at Learning Tree Farm. Do you know this one, Ferdinand? Oh, it is a really good book. I have a friend, Eleanor, here who said, yeah. And notice that our Ferdinand is also very fond of this book. So I thought I would read it for you. If you want something to do, let's do it, shall we? The story of you, Ferdinand. Once upon a time, in Spain, we're in Dayton, but that's okay. There was a little bull, and his name was Ferdinand. Like this dude. All the other bulls he lived with would run and jump and butt their heads together. Can you see that? Look at Ferdinand. He really likes it. But he's more interested in... all right. But not Ferdinand. He liked to sit just quietly and smell the flowers, as if on cue. What a perfect cow. He had a favorite spot out in the pasture under a cork tree. It was his favorite tree, and he would sit in the shade all day and smell the flowers. It looks kind of like our guy, doesn't it? Nicely done. Sometimes his mother, who was a cow, would worry about him. She was afraid he would be lonesome all by himself. Are you lonesome, Ferdinand? Why don't you run and play with the other little bulls and skip the butting against heads, she said. But Ferdinand would shake his head, and I like it better here, he would say, where I can sit just quietly and smell or eat the flowers. His mother saw that he was not lonesome, and because she was an understanding mother, even though she was a cow, she let him just sit there and be happy. As the years went by, Ferdinand grew and grew until he was very, very big and strong, like this guy. And all the other bulls who had grown up with him in the same pasture would fight each other all day. They would butt each other and stick each other with their horns. What they wanted most of all was to be picked to fight at the bullfights in Madrid. But not Ferdinand. He still liked to sit quietly under the cork tree and smell the flowers. One day, 5 men came in very funny hats to pick the biggest, fastest, roughest bull to fight in the bullfights in Madrid. Those are funny hats. All the other bulls ran around snorting and butting and leaping and jumping, so the men would think they were very, very strong and fierce and pick them. Right? Right? Ferdinand knew that they wouldn't pick him, and he didn't care. He went out to his favorite cork tree to sit down. He didn't look where he was sitting, and instead of sitting on a nice cool patch of grass in the shade, he sat on a bumblebee. Uh-oh. Well, if you were a bumblebee and a bull sat on you, what would you do? Yeah. You would sting him, and that is just what the bee did to Ferdinand. That hurt, didn't it? Wow, did it hurt. Ferdinand jumped up with a snort. He ran around puffing and snorting, butting and pawing the ground as if he were crazy. The 5 men in the funny hats saw him, and they all shouted with joy. Hey! Here was the largest, fiercest bull of all, just the one for the bullfights in Madrid. So they took him away in a big cart for bullfight day. What a day it was. Flags were flying, bands were playing. And all the lovely ladies had flowers in their hair. Much like this, perhaps. They had a parade into the bull ring. First came the ballandinos, or banderilios, or banderinis, with large, sharp pins with ribbons on them to stick in the bull and make him mad. Oh, now I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. But let's go on with the story. Next came the picadores, who rode skinny horses, and they had long spears to stick in the bull and make him madder. Ow, don't like that idea. What do you think? Okay, go ahead. Then came the matador. The proudest of all, he thought he was very handsome and bowed to the ladies. He had a red cape and a sword and was supposed to stick the bull last of all. Look at him. Then came the bull. And you know who that was, right? Right. Ferdinand. They called him Ferdinand the Fierce, and all of the banderilios were afraid of him, and the picadores were afraid of him, and the matador was scared stiff of him. Ferdinand ran into the middle of the ring, and everyone shouted and clapped because they thought he was going to fight fiercely and butt and snort and stick his horns around. But not Ferdinand. When he got to the middle of the ring, he saw the flowers in all of the ladies' hair, and he just sat down. He sat down right in the middle of the ring and smelled. He wouldn't fight or be fierce no matter what they did. He was just sitting and smelling. They were all mad. The picadores was madder, and Matador was so mad, and they cried. He couldn't show off with his cape and sword, the poor guy. There he is, look at it, sitting there. I like your style. So, they had to take Ferdinand home, which I'm sure he didn't mind. And for all I know, he is still sitting there under his favorite cork tree, smelling the flowers, just quietly. And he is very, very happy. Hey, I've really enjoyed having time with you today. My name again is Jean Berry, and I look forward to meeting every one of you.